Oh, look who I scored for a killer interview. Justin Fink, the editor of Fine Home Building. This guy has accomplished an incredible amount at the age of 52. Justin, thank you for being with me for a few minutes.
I look good for 52, don't I?
Man, you do, brother.
You know, I'm just trying to walk the show floor and get roped into this interview. I'm just trying to live my life. Happy to pop in. It's always good to see you. It's been a while since we've been able to catch up.
It has been, and man, you're doing incredible work at Fine Home Building. Yeah. I've been a subscriber for probably 20-ish years. If you don't already subscribe for sure. Yeah. Now we're doing videos with Journal Light Construction. Subscribe there as well. But Justin, tell me about the show from the Fine Home Building perspective. You know, you've been walking the floor. You've seen a lot of stuff. What do you think the buzzwords are this year?
So we're hearing a lot about resiliency, but I'm thinking a little bit of a different spin. Resiliency to me, I mean, if you look at the true definition of it, it's the ability to spring back, to bounce back from something that probably went wrong, you know, spring back into shape. I think it's really more of a durability thing that we need to be focusing on. Resiliency is one thing, but durability and simplicity are where I think the future is, because that's what we're seeing more and more of, whether it's at Owens Corning or Zip or some of these other lighting manufacturers. It's not how do we get builders to install things right, how do we simplify those products so that they can't install them wrong. Oh, I like that. And so we're simplifying the systems to the point that the success rate is just going to be through the roof. Yeah. So because as you know, I don't need to preach to you that as we get tighter and tighter with the houses, which is where we're going to be going, whether people like it or not, those stakes are going to get higher and higher. Yeah. So we need to make sure that we're getting all those critical details right. Otherwise, that airtightness and everything is going to come back and bite us. Yeah. So the manufacturers are rightly on top of that, which I'm super psyched to see.
Tell me what's coming up in the Fine Home Building world. What's kind of the next thing, or what's your latest push?
Well, I can tell you one article we have coming up that you might find interesting. It's by a guy named Matt Reisinger, and he is going to be doing a really cool article that's basically centered around the perfect wall concept. And it is going to open people's eyes to when you use this perfect wall concept, how many architectural opportunities it's going to open. It's going to be a really cool article. That's coming this spring. But we're really focused on this boots on the ground. You know, we want to help guys get their hands dirty, get in there and do it right with the right information. Yeah. So whatever that means. That can mean anything from installing vinyl to installing skylights to doing a super energy efficient house, which you know we're always going to keep pushing that message because we believe that's where we're going. But it's not so much, I think people sometimes mistake the fine in Fine Home Building for it has to be high dollar, it has to be like over the top coastal rich people clientele. Yeah. It's really not. Fine is just whatever you're doing it at such a high level with such a high level of care that you're pouring your whole self into it. That's what the Fine and Fine Home Building is. So it doesn't matter what our topic is. We're going to be talking about everything. Yeah, if you're into building, you come talk to us, and we're going to get you taken care of.
Man, that's so awesome, Justin. Hey, what about the Zip R? Are you seeing that adopted? They've got 4 flavors now, 4 thicknesses. I don't see that being used much in Texas, at least in my part of Texas. I think that's a big one they're gonna see some huge growth on. Are you seeing that already adopted in your area?
I don't see a whole lot of it. I mean, they stock it at my local lumber yards, but I don't see it getting used a whole lot. I think people are still not making that switch over to foam. I know that. Yeah, I know we're going there. I think they know we're going there, but you know it's different. And
we're slow.
But I keep on brainstorming all these different ways to use the sheathing with the foam. And you know we talk about it a lot on the podcast, and I have to give those pieces of advice to listeners that ask us questions, sort of saying, well, I don't even know if this is really an approved method for using this, but when you combine sheathing and foam together, it just opens up so many doors. You know, I mean, we're coming from the place of you used to have to buy nail base in order to do that, and now they've kind of created this solution for us that's off the shelf, and you don't have to be a commercial roofing contractor to get it. But I'm like, where can I use this in a basement? Where can I use it over a slab to condition my basement? Where can I use it in an attic? Where can I, I've started to brainstorm these other places where the doors that it opens up, different opportunities, and And I know that they were teasing using it in some other exterior applications in Joe's talk, so I'm excited to see the assembly details and the testing that's going to allow that to happen, because that's when it's going to start to really take off, I think.
Yeah, you know, Joe mentioned using Zip R, and they talked about it in attic spaces.
Yeah.
So really, you could take a perfect wall concept and make the entire perfect wall envelope, walls all the way to roof out of Zip R, and use that really thick Zip R. Pretty interesting assembly right there.
I love it. I love it. I mean, I would love to play with it. It solves so many problems. You get the structural. I mean, just one more of those control functions we've collapsed down to one layer.
That's right.
And when you keep that sheathing warm, your house is going to be so happy. I mean,
Good.
Resiliency and durability. That's it.
Yeah, that's right. Justin, you're so awesome, man. I took way more of your time. I appreciate it, brother. Justin, thanks so much for letting me sideline you for an interview, man. Have a great show, and we'll see you next year at IBS 2018.
Thank you, sir. Take care.